watching the first podcast from Positive Outlook.
You just told me it was empty.
Okay.
That are, positively. There's so many.
But other than that, happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
And I hope you guys have an awesome week. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Gabe.
It's Caleb.
And today you were watching the 21st episode of the Positive Outlook podcast.
21st episode.
It's so funny because every time we start an episode, it's the same thing.
But it's different today because it's my birthday.
Happy birthday, Caleb.
Thank
Big
you.
shout out.
Big 19.
Yeah, big 19. Nothing changes.
Not a single thing. But hey, that number gets closer to 21, which is when big change happens. So
Yes.
September 20th, don't forget it.
Yeah, I don't feel any different since turning 21, but it's the experience that matters, right?
Absolutely.
So,
I actually, not to cut you off,
Yeah.
but I'm not a big birthday guy. I will not tell a single person it's my birthday. So you guys are lucky.
Yes.
You guys are very lucky. Okay.
So happy birthday, Caleb.
Thank you.
But what are we going to talk about today?
Today we're going to talk about how to be a better giver.
Be a better giver. What defines someone to be a giver?
Well, it's someone who doesn't take.
They don't take?
Well, I mean, you do take, but I was just trying to be philosophical with it.
Okay,
But no, someone who gives is someone who takes time out of their day. It doesn't have to be items. It can be many different things. But you're just giving, I guess, a piece of yourself to somebody, whether it's in the form of helping or the form of your time or an item or money or food. It can be so many things.
Yeah. So today we're going to be talking about how to become a better giver. And we have 7 steps here that we're going to talk to you guys about and kind of break it down and just discuss. So we'll get right into number 1. It is look to give encouragement to someone each day. And so this is one of those easy ones that isn't going to take much of your time. It's not going to take any money, barely any attention.
Yeah.
Pretty much, you can walk up to somebody. It's the whole thing. How I said I would always do 3 compliments a day.
Yep.
And when it comes to giving, I just want to clarify this. When it comes to giving, it's not that you are giving something and receiving nothing in return.
Absolutely not.
Because spiritually, and in your soul, giving is one of the best things you can do.
So good.
And like episode 8, giving is living.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably one of the best days we ever had.
That was so fun.
Yeah, we went out and to the community and kind of just, in that term, it was money that we gave away, and it doesn't always have to be money, but it made us feel so great as people.
And I learned that day that big shout out to the films or any shows where it's hidden camera, especially in Practical Jokers. It is so hard to film in public.
Yeah.
So
You
hard.
feel like a weirdo. You don't have like the whole camera set up. It's
Right.
like, what is this guy doing? Just
Mhm.
recording us. And so yeah, definitely a big shout out to those people who do those jobs because they might look easy, but they're not.
Not at all.
So yeah, look to give encouragement to somebody each day. Something as little as a compliment. I like your shoes, cool shirt. Those are cool glasses. Caleb just got new glasses.
Thank you. They are new glasses. I had to wear them on the podcast at least once.
Yeah.
So.
And one thing I like to do is my personal favorite one is notice when people get haircuts.
Oh my gosh, I'm so good at it. I
Yeah.
love it. It's because something just seems off, and I'm like,
yeah.
he's
You
got a haircut. It looks so good, bro.
Yeah, and then you just gas them up like, oh, your new haircut looks so good. I love that.
Even if it looks awful, you don't have to gas it up as much. But I've suffered through many terrible haircuts.
We all have.
And so the last thing I want to hear after I see how bad it looks is, ooh.
Yeah.
So,
Well, no, big shout out to my mom here. I'm pretty sure she cut my hair until I was about 15 or 16 years old.
wow.
So, yeah, I've had my fair share of some butchers on my
Yep,
head.
I've had, especially, I went up until my sophomore year of high school, I was getting haircuts from my parents. And they
Yeah.
were finally like, okay, you can go to a barber now.
Yeah.
And so when COVID happened, everything was shut down and I had to get a home haircut again. And come on,
Yeah.
guys, step it up a
Yeah,
little.
absolutely. All right, so moving into number 2, is practice saying thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I feel there's a lot of things that kind of go unnoticed throughout the day. People doing things for you that you feel aren't a big impact on your life,
Yep.
but it might have taken away from the value of their day. And so thank you, it goes a long way.
Oh, yeah.
It's very appreciated. So not only the people who provide a service to you that is, super grateful, even if it's something as simple as grabbing you a pen or a pencil, don't forget that thank you because they are going out of their way to do something for you. So why not thank them for that?
It has been grinded into my mind to make sure every single time you say thank you.
Yeah.
Since I was little, I would always say thank you for everything.
Yeah.
And it's never once backfired in any way.
Well, and it's also
You know?
you get to that point where you're so conditioned to say thank you
Mm-hmm.
that sometimes you say it at times where it's like, why would you say thank you?
Yep.
And you just feel like an idiot. You're walking away like, what was I doing? But at the same time, it's like it's better for you to say thank you more than enough than not say it enough.
Absolutely. I know I do a lot of like side jobs. I help people out when it comes to like moving. Today I went and helped someone move. I just say thank you way too much, and it helps. I mean, they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is like the nicest guy ever."
Yeah.
You know? And so and that's not the point. You don't say thank you so they go, "Oh, he's a nice guy."
Yeah.
But it definitely helps give that effect, you know?
Absolutely. I agree with you there. So moving into number 3, stop complaining and gossiping. You know, that doesn't do anybody any good, and the only person that's hurting is yourself. You know, someone did you wrong. Understand that happened. Understand it's also partially your fault for getting in that situation. But don't hold that guilt. Forgive. Forgiveness is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Without forgiveness, there's no progress or any moving forward. So in being a complaining and gossiping person, it's exhausting to be around.
Yep.
It is.
100%.
You know, there's obviously those fun topics that people like to
Did you
talk
see
about.
what Brittany wore today?
Yeah, or like politics, you know.
Disclaimer, Brittany's not an actual person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Anyways.
don't know Brittany. But there's those kind of things where it's, okay, you know, every once in a while a big event happens, oh, let's complain about it. But when it's every day, or if it's something you do on a natural occurrence, it gets exhausting, and you're not providing any value to anybody by doing that.
Especially when it's about friends. If you have an issue with someone, you go up and just talk to them.
Yeah.
Talk to them about it. You don't need to complain to everyone on the planet about what that person decided to do that annoyed you. And also, I feel like this list is almost like a way to be more positive part 2, because like this goes hand in hand with ways to be more positive.
Well, if you were capable of giving something every day of your life, would you do it?
Absolutely.
And are you capable of giving something every day of your life?
100%.
So why not do it?
Absolutely.
It'll increase the value of your life. It'll increase the value of other people's lives. It'll just make everything happy.
And another thing, giving is living. I know I've said this throughout the podcast as a whole, but I fully believe that whatever you give in some form comes back to you.
Yeah.
Every single time. Even if it doesn't seem like it, there are things that you do, and it sets off kind of a chain reaction.
Yeah.
And it'll come back to you somehow.
Right.
It's crazy.
Well, and it's also like treat others how you want yourself to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
If you're out there and you're never giving anybody anything, and you know, why would they give you something?
Right.
And I mean, it could be something as, you know, a completely random person gives you something. Obviously, they don't know you, and it's just being out of the kindness of their heart. But it's do the same for others.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know, everybody likes to say you're at Taco Bell, McDonald's, you know, somewhere out there where you have a minor cost to pay for a good or service, and somebody else covers it for you.
Mm-hmm.
And that is like, oh my gosh, what a gentleman.
Right.
Or like, you know, what a nice person.
Yeah.
And then what do you do immediately after that? You get the person behind you.
You have to. I mean,
and so that's almost like a pretty much immediate scale of what actually happens in your life.
right.
So that's like, oh, this guy paid for me, I'm going to pay for the next guy. So it's like full circle. And so that's just life as well. You know, go out, give compliments, go out, be grateful and giving person, and it'll come back to you one day.
Well, it's like one time I was working, and this guy out of nowhere was just going around complimenting a lot of the workers, and he came up to me. He's like, "What's up, man? Those shoes are sick. Have a good day." And I was we just walked away, and I was like, "That was awesome."
Yeah, right.
Let me go compliment a bunch of people now.
Yeah. So moving into number 4, take responsibility to develop yourself. You know, one thing we preach about on this podcast is that this is your life and your life only. Nobody else can, you know, make you grow or become the person you need to be. That is something you have to take in, hold accountable, take that responsibility over yourself, and understand that if you want to get to where you're going, you're going to have to be the one to take the steps.
Yep.
So that's a big one. Take responsibility and self-growth. Understand that each step you take is for yourself.
You can't fully give. You can't give to your full potential, full capability if you haven't developed yourself.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're giving away when you need time to work on yourself. Instead, you're giving it to others. And so it's great to give to others, but if you're not fully developed, you don't even realize how much you can do for other people.
Yeah, and like a lot of people know this. Humans are set up to expel what they have inside of them,
Mm-hmm.
and so if people have angst and anger, and I guess those are
Synonyms.
yeah. I mean, they're good enough to explain it. If you have those inside of you, then you're gonna expel that on the world around you. And so it's just, be grateful for what you have in your life, and understand that when you develop yourself, you have more value to give to others.
Well, think about it. If you're a personal trainer and you're brand new to the game, and
Mhm.
so you don't know everything, I mean, not that you ever know everything,
Right.
but you're not fully developed as a trainer, and you go and give advice, what if it's bad advice?
Right.
Rather than maybe you focus on yourself as a trainer, learn all this information, and then go out and help people.
Yeah.
Like, your advice is still going to be helpful, but it's going to be so much more impactful
Yeah.
if you're developed in your whatever, usually yourself. But
Yeah. Absolutely. So moving into number 5, listen to others. This one is huge, in my opinion. Listening to others and actually understanding and being able to sympathize what other people are either going through or explaining to you is so important in the role of understanding and making others feel understood and appreciated. Listening to other people is just important.
Tell me about your day real quick, Gabe.
I'll tell you about my day. It was pretty boring. So actually, oh, you're not even listening.
Oh, did you? Oh, yeah, your day.
I feel
Wow.
so unappreciated, And so, I mean, just like that, it's something, as simple as that. Instead of looking around and thinking, oh, how do I get out of this? It's just listen.
Right.
It's not wasting your time. It's not killing you. I mean, it might be wasting your time, but it's not going to be your whole day. And it's not killing you, and it's worth it to waste your time to make this other person feel appreciated and understood.
Because when you have a terrible day and you go to tell someone about your terrible day to kind of de-stress, and they're just like, oh, it's like, really?
Yeah.
You can't help me out here? Or
Yeah.
sometimes just listening. You don't even have to say anything back, just to show that, you're paying attention can make someone's day.
Yeah, and listen with acceptance other than judgment,
Mm-hmm.
because that is so important. Even, like subtle cues like body language, stuff like that, eyes moving around, can be, someone sitting there kind of confiding in you, hoping that you can be the one to tell them either they're right or that they're being reasonable or their feelings are valid.
Right.
And if you kind of just beat around the bush and make them feel like they're kind of just stupid saying that stuff, then they're not going to confide in you, and you don't add any value.
Right. Absolutely.
And I know you guys probably hear me say it a lot, especially in this episode, is adding value. And what I mean by that is just making the other person feel like they have value, and it's literally that simple.
Yep.
And I know I've been saying it a lot. At the end of basically all of these, I say it adds value to the other person's life, and adding value is so important. It makes full circle. Adding value to somebody else's life adds value to yours.
100%. And that's not saying you have to go be Tony Robbins
Yeah.
in order to give to people.
Right.
But to an extent, I mean, when I give, I'm always like, wow,
Yeah.
Tony would be proud.
Yeah. Right. All right. So moving into number 6, when giving critical feedback about ideas, don't just shoot down the other idea. Come back with a better alternative. So this goes into when someone is telling you, someone is explaining a situation to you, and they tell you, hey, look, this is what I did, and you disagree with it. You don't just say, oh my gosh, you idiot, what are you doing?
Mhm.
Why would you do that? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Instead, make them aware that might not have been something you do, but offer an alternative that could possibly work for them.
Right.
Because it doesn't add that level of judgment. It doesn't add that level of uncomfortability
Mhm.
and awkwardness in a situation. And also, you're providing help by
Yep.
giving them an alternative action.
You cannot survive. You cannot thrive without feedback, especially critical feedback. I
Yeah.
mean, how are you going to know if it's kind of like those people you see go on like American Idol, and you're just like, who let them get on there?
Yeah,
It's
right.
like, it's because no one was ever like, okay, listen, all right, either you have potential, you just need to work on some things.
Yeah.
And no one told them that, and so they go out with this raw plan of just, I'm going to crush it, because
Yeah.
no one ever said, hey, like, not to cut you down, but you're not amazing. Like,
Mhm.
you need to work on this, or maybe you should find something that you're better at.
Yeah, right.
Like, it can be hurtful sometimes, but
but
if
people
you-
need to hear it.
yes, if you don't have that
Yeah.
critical feedback, you're gonna think you're some Whitney Houston,
Yeah.
and then you get out there, and not quite.
And this is one of those things, I've always lived by this. You gotta have that one friend that's gonna tell you if you have a booger hanging out of your nose.
Mm-hmm.
And that sounds so stupid. And like, what? Who cares? You know.
But it shouldn't be limited to one friend. If you're letting me have a booger hang out of my nose, say something.
You're a bad friend. So that's pretty much the direct analogy that you guys could probably understand here is that you need somebody who's going to be a realist with you, but can also give you alternative ideas to help your situation.
Absolutely. Can I read number 7?
Yeah, do it.
Bad. Givers are also takers. I love
Boom.
that.
The most important one
sorry.
on this list. I don't know if you're going to say something else.
No, you're good.
The most important one on this list is givers are also takers.
Mm-hmm.
And what do they take?
What do they take?
They take responsibility in their
I
actions.
should have read all the way through it. Sorry.
It's all right. They take responsibility in their actions. They hold themselves accountable. They understand that this is their life, and they're here because they put themselves here.
Absolutely. You cannot just give. You can't survive if all your 100% of your effort is just giving to people.
Yeah.
You need to be able to take.
Yeah.
And it sounds greedy, but think about it. You know, how much do you give in a day? Attention, money, just how much do you give? What'd you say?
I would say on average probably about 2 to 3 hours.
Exactly. And so that's a pretty good number. That's not like an insane amount, but it's like a good length of time.
Yeah.
But I know, especially back in the day, I would give so much time listening to people to where I didn't really have time for myself.
Yeah.
Like I would just give away too much time. You need time to take it and just be like, okay, this is me developing. You know, it's important.
Absolutely. So do you have anything else you want to add to this?
You guys can give us a subscribe. I mean, that's up to you, but I mean, it's right there.
Is living, and I know that would make us happy. And in return, we would give you guys more content.
No, not even that. We have a giveaway planned, but
do.
we need those 200 subscribers.
So this is a literal definition of full circle.
Yeah.
You guys give us subscribes, we give out merch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we should get off this topic now. They got the point. So anyway, once again, happy birthday, Caleb.
Thank you, guys.
It's an honor being there with you for it. I don't know why, but I get all tongue twisted in my head.
It's an honor being here for it. You're in the studio.
Yes. So I hope you guys have a great Monday.
Make it a great week.
Yes, get out there, crush it. Give something away. Your car, your house.
Just give a little time.
Yeah, compliment some people. Give some people some time. Give them some of your attention.
I've been looking at volunteer work up in Travers. Just give a little.
Yeah, because it will come back full circle. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And peace.
Happy Monday.